Right then, a massive welcome to all our brand new recruits. Come on in, grab a seat, and get yourselves comfortable. I am absolutely buzzing to welcome you to the Superhero Training Academy. Today, we're diving into a top-secret explainer, and it's built for one very specific, incredibly crucial mission: how to comprehensively defeat the 11+ English exam. Now look, we all know this exam can feel a bit like a towering final boss in a video game, right? But honestly, with the right tactics and a spot of proper training, you're going to sail absolutely right through it. So straighten those ties, sharpen up your pencils, and let's get ready to unlock some serious grammatical superpowers.
Okay, let's dive into this and meet your brilliant new backup. Just look at the Punctuation Squad roster. Honestly, you want to think of these heroes as the essential superpowers you absolutely need to conquer that exam boss. On the left, we've got the high-flying speech mark twins. Right in the middle, there's the ever-inquisitive Captain Question, and over on the right, the explosive exclamator. It's simple, really. Once you learn how to master their unique abilities, there literally isn't a comprehension or a creative writing paper in the entire country that can stand in your way. So, let's break down exactly how to deploy each of them, starting with our dynamic duo.
First up, meet the speech mark twins. Now their golden rule is actually quite simple. They never, ever work alone. One twin opens the speech and the other one closes it. It's a proper team effort. If we just take a look at our first example here, let's read the librarian speech bubble exactly as it's written. Here we go. The library closes at 5 o'clock today, announced the librarian. Do you see how the twins literally hug those spoken words? It's brilliant. Now let's look at Sarah over on the right. Sarah asked, "May I borrow your dictionary for tonight's homework?" Once again, the twins are working perfectly together as a pair to hold those spoken words together. The main takeaway? Never leave a twin behind.
Right, moving on. We've got a rather clever maneuver known as the inside job. Take a really good look at this magnificent steel safe. The rule here is that question marks, exclamation marks, and full stops must go inside the speech marks when they belong to the spoken words. Let's actually listen to exactly how this works in practice. First up, the teacher. "Where did you leave your sports kit?" demanded the teacher. Next, we have the audience member. "What a magnificent performance!" exclaimed the audience member. And finally, the headmaster. "I shall see you tomorrow morning," promised the headmaster. Do you see what's happening there? Every single punctuation mark that belongs to the speaker is locked safely inside the twins' embrace. It's just brilliant.
Moving right along, we encounter a tactic that's just a tiny bit trickier. We call it the sandwich rule for reporting clauses. See, sometimes the person telling us who is speaking actually interrupts the speech itself. When these reporting clauses pop up mid-speech, the sentence gets sliced right in half, exactly like these lovely sandwiches. Let's read the mathematics example aloud together. "Mathematics," explained the teacher, "requires constant practice." See how "explain the teacher" is the tasty filling in the middle? Now let's try the assembly sliced sentence. "After the assembly," continued the headmaster, "classes will resume as normal." It's dead simple when you think about it. You just open and close the twins around each half of the bread.
Now this next bit brilliantly illustrates what happens when things get just a bit more advanced, specifically with rapid fire and invisible voices. Let's look at the left side first. Sometimes, a character speaks for multiple sentences all at once, and the trick is, we don't close the speech marks until they are completely finished speaking. Listen closely to the teacher's multi-sentence instruction here. "Please take out your books. Turn to page 47. We shall begin with exercise 3, instructed the teacher." Notice that? Just one set of twins for the whole instruction. Over on the right, we've got a back-and-forth ping-pong dialogue where the reporting clause is totally invisible. Let's follow this dialogue exactly as it's written.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Johnson.
Please sit down and prepare for today's lesson. So the rule of thumb is, every time a new person speaks, you've got to start a new line and deploy a brand new set of twins.
To make absolutely certain you never drop a single mark on these rules, I'm assigning you a secret mission. We call it the Twin Tracker. Your mission objective is clear. When you're correcting speech punctuation in your exam, you simply must perform 2 essential scans. Scan 1. Check that every single opening speech mark has a corresponding closing mark. Remember, no twin left behind. Scan 2. Ensure appropriate punctuation appears before those closing speech marks. That's just remembering that inside job rule we covered a minute ago. Honestly, mastering this quick double-check strategy prevents the absolute most common exam errors. If you just do these 2 scans, I promise you, your exam papers will be virtually bulletproof.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we finally get to introduce our next hero, Captain Question. He is always investigating, always tracking down the facts. The rule written on his notepad is crystal clear. All direct questions require question marks, regardless of their length or complexity. Basically, if it asks, he tracks. Let's look at his 3 specific case files here. First, from the clock, what time does the examination begin? Next up, from the blackboard, how did she solve that challenging mathematics problem so quickly? And finally, the very short one down at the bottom, why? You see, whether it's just one single word or a massive winding sentence, if it's a direct question, Captain Question absolutely must be deployed.
But listen up, recruits. You must be vigilant here. You have to know how to spot the imposter. Over on the left, we've got the real deal, Captain Question. But on the right, we have the reporter imposter, which represents indirect questions. Now, indirect questions use full stops, not question marks, because they report rather than ask. Let's read the direct question on the left aloud verbatim. What time will the examination begin? Now let's read the 2 indirect, full stop examples aloud verbatim just to spot the difference. Here's the first. She asked what time the examination would begin. And the second, the teacher wondered why the student looked confused. Do you notice how flat they sound compared to the first one? They kind of seem like questions, but they're actually just statements reporting that a question was asked. Don't let the imposter fool you when you're sitting in the exam hall.
Boom. Stand well back, everyone, because here comes the exclamator. This hero is all about high impact. As the smoke clears, his core rule is revealed. Exclamation marks convey strong emotion, surprise, or emphasis. Let's read these 2 joyful examples to see his power in action. First, the lad holding the present. What a wonderful surprise! And next, the girl with the violin. How beautifully she played that piece. You can literally hear the emotion and energy bursting right out of those sentences, can't you? That is exactly the exclamator doing what he does best.
Now, the exclamator is also heavily involved in action stations. Specifically, we're talking about commands and interjections. Just look at the traffic cop, the sports fan, and the forgetful student. Let's read their speech bubbles exactly as written to see how commands and sudden shouts are handled. The traffic cop shouts, "Stop immediately! Look out for that car!" The thrilled sports fan yells, "Hooray, we won the match!" And our poor forgetful student gasps, "Oh, I forgot my homework!" In all of these cases, whether it's a shouted command or sudden interjections like hooray or oh, the exclamator steps right in to give the sentence that necessary punch.
So the crucial point is, you really have to be incredibly careful with this power. In fact, this warning is perhaps the most important one for your formal writing. Look at our poor hero there, completely drained in that battery tube. We really need to heed this exact advice. First, the danger. Using too many exclamation marks in formal writing drains their power. And now for the golden 11+ writing advice. Avoid overusing exclamation marks in formal writing. 1 per paragraph maximum maintains appropriate tone while adding emphasis where needed. Remember that, recruits. I mean it. If you chuck one at the end of every single sentence, the examiner is just going to think you're shouting at them. Use the power sparingly.
To bring all of this together, let's guide you through the Hero Dispatch Center flowchart. You can think of this as your ultimate decision-making machine for the exam. You start right at the top left. Ask yourself, are characters talking out loud? If the yes path lights up, boom, you call the speech mark twins. And remember that sandwich rule for mid-sentence breaks. If the answer is no, you move to scanner 2. Are you asking a direct question? If yes, call Captain Question. But keep a sharp eye out for those indirect reporter imposters. If no, down we go to scanner 3. Is it a massive emotion, an interjection, or a shouted command? If yes, call the exclamator, but keep in mind that exam warning of only 1 per paragraph. And what if the answer is no to all of those? Well, just stand down. A trusty, everyday full stop will handle the situation perfectly. This flowchart right here, that is your ultimate tactical guide.
And there we have it, recruits. You've met the team, you know their strengths inside out, and you've learned exactly how to avoid their weaknesses. You are now officially trained members of the Academy. Really, the only thing left to do now is to put all this brilliant knowledge into practice. So, I leave you with this final, absolutely vital question. Are you ready to deploy your squad in your next practice paper? I certainly think you are. Take these superpowers, tackle that 11+ exam, and show them exactly what you're made of. Cheerio, and the absolute best of luck to you all.